Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. It's another group photograph, and it's in a hallway, and so you've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So 8 people, and you're standing in the back holding what looks like a decapitated white cake with some bleeding fruit on the top.
It's mango.
Oh, it's mango. Okay, great. Yeah. There's a little kid who looks very young, probably about like 6 or 7.
Yes.
Maybe a young researcher. Let's put it that way. 6 or 7. Yeah. So this is a great warm group photo. Why is this important? What am I looking at?
So this was my. So first, this is actually in the building. This is at the entrance to the lab area. And this was my birthday this year, and I didn't tell anyone. So I was trying to hide the fact that it was my birthday. Yeah. Because, I'm still trying not to get older, see if I can stop that from happening.
Sure.
And at some point, my group actually surprised me with a cake.
That's sweet.
And that was very nice. So I was very touched by that. Yeah. That they remembered, because being honest, I don't remember all their birthdays.
Right.
And also just, that they actually took the initiative to celebrate with me. So that was amazing. And but why I chose this picture. So you can actually see there are some people which also were in the other photograph. There are some other people. So especially, the girl on the right side, Zoe.
Yeah.
She just got her first paper accepted, and we are submitting her second one.
Okay.
And she will definitely have 1 or 2 more. So she's totally rocking her PhD. Amazing. Yeah. And she started off as such a shy girl who in the beginning, I felt that she's going to be pushed around by like everybody else, because she was not really standing up for herself. And sometimes you have to be fierce, especially there's always like shared facilities, and you have to book, and people are basically taking your slots, and you really have to be able, to stand up for yourself.
Sure.
And so in the beginning, she was like super shy, and then at some point, which came with this, I'm taking ownership of my project. She started to be also very protective of her project.
Sure.
And also to really like making sure that people do not step into her space. So she became very confident.
Okay.
And but that's not the reason why I chose the picture.
So why did you choose a photo?
Because like the little girl there is actually my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know why, but for some reason, I had to take her with me to work. So she was in my office, and so why I chose this picture is because I realized in my job, there are actually not, especially in the higher position, there are actually not that many women.
Okay.
Hong Kong is a bit different, I feel. But I've been working in Germany before as well. And in Europe, like the moment you move into a research institute or you are like, in a scientific field or engineering field, they're almost like, there's a huge overproportion of men in these kind of professorship or higher leading position. And I always asked myself why, and by now I do understand why. Definitely, I think it's harder for women to actually set foot into such a male-dominated field.
Okay.
Especially because like it's like a closed club sometimes.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it's always the case. Like in Hong Kong, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's very open. I also feel that there are much more women.
Okay.
In research here, and it's very inclusive. It's not exclusive. But in Germany, that was definitely different.
Okay.
And then I realized that then there are like some women in these positions, and those are extremely fierce.
Yeah.
And very often childless.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would say over proportionally, many women who like in these positions never have kids.
Sure.
And I think they basically decided to go for the career instead for the family. And I didn't do that. So I have a daughter, and I also have a son.
Wow.
And I think you don't have to choose. And I think it's wrong to choose.
Well, that's a tough one, because raising a child is a lot of work.
It is.
It's really hard. It's a lot of work. And I think for a lot of women I think that's a real challenge for women who want to have children but also continue in their careers. At some point along the way, just because of fatigue, of scheduling, of access, whatever it is, they face a choice, right? Like I think about, my wife, who with our daughter, when she was doing her PhD and working full time, it was just like she had there weren't enough hours in the day, and it's not only the will. A lot of these women who have to face this choice, who can't do it, they have the will, but who just can't make it happen, right? So you are able to. It's not in the past because you're still working, you're still teaching, you're still full on and being a parent.
I think if it's a choice of time, then yes. But some people some women just are afraid.
Sure.
To make the step.
Okay.
In academia, you don't really have like long-term contracts in the beginning at least, right? So you have the short-term contracts. It's really competitive. So
sure.
When I, for example, interviewed for my job in Hong Kong, I think I heard the most often sentence I heard from a lot of people: you either go up or you're out.
Right.
So you either advance in your career or you exit this career path, right? So, and this is how it's been since my PhD, basically.
Sure.
So under such circumstances, some people just do not dare to have children because there's not the stability. They don't know am I going to have a job in like 3-5 years, whatever.
Yeah.
How am I going to support my family? So they kind of seek this stability and, in a way, like to have something where they can put children and a family into. Right. And I have to say that I also had these thoughts, but it kind of just makes you scared.
Right.
And if you make decisions out of fear, most of the time they're not good decisions. So
sure.
I think that at some point I just let go of this. I have 2 kids. My kids are pretty resilient. I don't need to be a millionaire for them to be happy.
Right.
For them, the happiest moments are, for example, in coming with me to work. So Lucia loves it. She's center of attention. Everybody wants to talk to her.
And it's got to be so cool for her to go into this place that is so
we have this rule. She cannot touch anything.
It's
like, don't touch.
Yeah. That can kill you. No. Okay.
Right. Maybe it's faith in a way that even if this doesn't work out, something else will.
Well, okay.
In a way, like I'm not stupid. I'm going to figure something out.
Well, one of the things that's clear is that you're hardworking, which isn't to say that women who can't do it all aren't hardworking, but you're competitive. Would you describe yourself as competitive?
Yes, I love competition. I love dares. I love challenges.
Yeah. So you are competitive.
Yes.
So why don't you talk or share about when you're in a situation, you won't necessarily think, oh, wait a second, I'm facing this guy who's being super dismissive or sexist or whatever, and here's a moment for me to push back. Sometimes you're just in that situation, and then you catch yourself and you go like, oh, hold on a second. So have you had really intense experiences where you're not in Hong Kong necessarily, but maybe in Germany, where you said it was really male dominated and really a lot, where the people at the top tended to be male, where you were kind of facing a challenge that was obviously like, okay, hold on, this is fucked up. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah. It's actually why I left my job in Germany as well.
Okay.
So it was a research institute which was really male dominated. And it's not like only women were targeted. Like the head of the institute was not a very nice person,
sure.
But he kind of took an interest in me. So normally you have still this hierarchy. So there's head of institute, then there's head of department. And then I was a postdoctoral fellow there. But, so I would have to report to the head of department, not to the head of the institute, but the head of the institute sometimes went around the head of the department, which was tricky. And in a way, it's just that everybody in these positions, if it was the head of the institute or the vice, I don't know, what is it called? The person who, if the head of the institute is not around.
No, not the
vice
chancellor, vice chancellor.
No, because it's just a research institute, right? It's not a university.
I have no idea.
So anyway, like the whole management thing was all male, and I don't know. There were sentences like, like I know you have a kid, so if you want to have your contract extended after these 2 years, you better do this and this and this. Because actually I was there I got my own fellowship, so I had my own research project.
Right.
So I had everything planned out.
Yeah.
I had my milestones, and at some point they told me that I'm not allowed to do this project anymore and I'm supposed to do something else.
Huh.
Which is not very ethical.
Sure.
And they were basically using again this, you basically, you want to settle down here and you can have if you do this, you will get a contract, you can live your life here, be a happy mom. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't make it right.
Right.
Or I heard sentences like, oh yeah, because she's good looking and she's a woman, let her present, because it will look good on the institute.
Yeah.
Or when I was once interviewing for, also a group leading position in Germany, and it was the head of plastic surgery, which would have been fun because he had a lot of funding and a huge lab. He just basically needed someone to do the things, right?
Right.
And again, we had this conversation, and he knew I just had my daughter, and he's like, well, if you want, I can make sure that you are going to have a comfortable life, so you never have to worry about that your contract doesn't get extended. You can settle down here, you can take care of your kid, you can do whatever you want in my lab, whatever, whatever research direction, as long as my name appears as a lead author everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You can do everything as long as I can take the credit. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was just, looking at the guy, and I was like, if he thought he's actually doing me something good for me, because I can be this mummy with, and I was just like, yes, let me consider that. Thank you. And I never spoke to this guy again. I didn't even say no, because I just felt that was so rude.
Sure.
And so there have been a lot of these kind of situations, and it's just that it's kind of a closed club. So, many of these men are obviously older.
Yeah.
So if there's this young chirpy woman, they just don't take you seriously.
Okay.
They might eventually be impressed by something what you do, or I've been told almost oh, that's a genius idea, but that's kind of it. They don't really would put you in a position where, but having said that, I don't have that in Hong Kong at all.
Right.
So Hong Kong is very different, and I really appreciate Hong Kong for that.
Are you taller than most of your colleagues?
In Hong Kong, yes, I think so.
I imagine that kind of helped.
You think so?
No, listen, I was just kidding. Look, these podcasts go by very quickly. I mean, it's been an hour.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing? Thank you. I love this stuff. This is so great. Thank you so much. Awesome.
It was a pleasure. It's great. Thank you. I do love to talk about my work.
It's awesome. It's
right?
Great. Woo! So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.